All right. Good morning, everyone. It's Candice Lee from Candice Lee Fired Up, independent epicure consultant and meal prep whiz. And this morning I'm live here on Instagram and on my Facebook event. Today is going to be slightly a little different as I'm going to just do a quick half an hour here. And then I'm doing a half an hour meal prep for Parents Unite as well. Hi Ray. It's a nonprofit charity group for parents and their kids and finding activities and things like that. So at 10:30 I'm popping over there. So you're welcome to join and come with me over there, or just stay for this half an hour. And there you go. Good morning. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. If you have questions or comments or anything, feel free to post as we go. But basically, I'm just going to get into what I'm making today and talk a little bit about why I do this and how I make it work for me. All right, so first things first, I'm actually just going to wash up a lettuce. I have lobster. I'm an East Coaster. So I have a bunch of lobster that I am... that I froze and I chopped all up and stuff, and now I'm just going to wash it and then dry it and then use that for making like lobster lettuce wraps. So it's not complicated, but it's lots of fun. I do like lettuce as a wrap instead of like bread, especially if you're trying to stay away from carbs. So that's that. So just basically, it's just sitting on, let me just do this for you, a roll rack with lettuce. It's just gonna dry, and then later on I'll probably just use a cloth to finish drying it. Anyway, that's lettuce. Moving on, using a ceramic knife means it won't brown either, which is awesome. Okay, so next I wanted to actually get into is making some better baked beans. No worries, Ray, stay as long as you can, and it's recorded for later. Good morning, everyone. All right, so basically I'm using our Baked Better Beans package. I've already used half for another day and I'm using half for now. I could just make the full, I believe it makes 8 cups, but that's just a lot to have, so I tend not to do that. So I'm just gonna do half and half. So basically, I am just going to, you can do this in the microwave or in the stovetop. I'm just gonna do it in the stovetop. I'm doing other things in the microwave. And today I'm not turning on the oven because it's hot, so I'm just going to do a little bit on the stove. So basically I put all the seasoning in here, some water, crushed tomatoes, a bit of molasses, and some vinegar. I did use dried beans that I overnight had them soaking in water, and I do it a couple of times. So I'll check on it and... molasses going everywhere. I'll check on it and just see what, just get with the color, you know what I mean, the color of whatever, you just can change it, keep getting all that out. So yeah, so a bit of vinegar, molasses, canned tomatoes. So we have a big can of tomatoes, so what I'm gonna actually do is use part for this, and then I'm gonna actually make some like marinara that is a sauce for later, but what I'm gonna do is actually just freeze it. Just in case, I don't want to waste this big can of tomatoes, so I don't want to just have it sitting in the fridge and then it could go bad. So why not just make it into something and then freeze it? So there we go. And then the rest of this, I'll just make it for marinara. Okay, so what was I said? Some water, which I have not done yet, crushed tomatoes, molasses, and vinegar. Okay. And I can drain out my delicious beans. Go. Okay, that's it. Pretty much that's all I'm gonna do. Mix it all up. And now I'm just going to throw it onto the stovetop and let it simmer away for probably about 20 minutes. All right, so that's it. Baked beans out of the way. And then next I was actually going to make, well, let's actually stop, because why? One of the things I like to do is not just for what are you going to eat, but what are you going to drink for the week, especially when it's hot and you're looking for probably some options. You're tired of water, or you want water, or you want it some flavored or something like that. So switch it up a little bit. I'll make like a condensed tea. And put it in the fridge, and then I'll use that to like add to water and that. And then I like our turmeric and ginger blend, but you can use whatever tea is your favorite. You can make it into a syrup, put some sugar in it, boil it down till it's really condensed, and then add that to like a mocktail or a cocktail or whatever. But I don't really go for a lot of sugar, so I will just have a really strong tea, put that in, and then I will throw it into the fridge, and then just top up like a glass of water, half and half or something, just depending on how strong it is. And I will use, oops, forgot, I'll use my cruet for that, just because this is perfect size. It fits right on the door of the fridge, and you make a mess like I do, and it's awesome. So there we go. Okay, so that will just go right into the fridge, and then I have a nice iced tea kind of idea. All right, next what I'm going to do is another form of a drink, is some water, either with some citrus, some cucumber, whatever it is you like. So again, it just depends on what your flavor profile is. I will do a bit of lemon and make sure it will actually fit into the jar and come back out again, because it will like expand. So I've got some lemon. I'm going to put a bit of a lime, and I also will be putting in a bit of I don't know what this is, tangerine, something, an orange. Kind of like that Five Alive flavor, right? Orange and lemon and lime, right? Okay. So there we go. And then I'll just top it off with water, put it in the fridge in a couple of hours, not even probably 30 minutes. The longer it is, the more it'll have the flavor of the orange and the lemon, obviously, right? So then that's that. So I got some flavored fruit tea or flavored fruit water. I've got some iced tea going. I got the beans moving, which I should check on. And then next would be dessert, right? Can't have a week without having something that you can snack on that you like as a dessert. Now I'm using our cupcakes here, but you could do many other things. So this is our Chocolate Temptation cupcakes. It makes 12. Basically, it's vegan as well. So basically what you're going to mix it in with is a cup of soy milk or nut milk or whatever other non-dairy. I guess it could be regular milk if you wanted. Could even be water, actually. A bit of oil and apple cider vinegar. You mix it all up, put it into your favorite muffin pan or round pan, whatever you like. So basically make 12 cupcakes or one 8-inch round pan cake, whichever is up for you. You can put it in the microwave or you can put it into the stove or oven. I'm actually just going to do it in the microwave just to simplify it, and it's hot and I don't want to have the oven going. So that's all I'm going to do. So I need a bit of apple cider vinegar. And I need a little bit of oil. And then I wanted the almond milk. And it was what, 1 cup? 1 cup. So if, I don't know your age range and who's watching, but I grew up with this particular cake. It was called Wacky Cake. It was called Depression Cake. And it was literally just, you know, flour and chocolate and cocoa or whatever. Cocoa flour with, you made like 3 little holes, and you would put in, you should not have used that one. What do you call it? Vinegar, vanilla, some water, and some oil kind of idea. So basically the same idea. But with our packages here, all that kind of stuff is in it, and it's gluten-free. So there's no, what it's used is So it's rice flour, cornstarch, organic cocoa, modified tapioca starch, baking soda, baking powder, sea salt, coffee powder, and organic cane sugar. And it is 8 grams of sugar per 1 cupcake, which is pretty good. It also has 1 gram of fiber and things like that. And the sodium level is really low, which is nice compared to buying the ones that are already made that are full of like gluten and dairy and of course lots of salt and stuff like that. All right, so I'm just going to use our cool 6-1 muffin pan. I'm going to oil it a tiny bit. It doesn't need a lot. Okay, and I'll just scoop a little bit into each hole. And as I said, we'll make 12. So I'll do the 6, and then I'll let it set, and then I'll do the next one. Okay, so cupcakes are ready to go in the microwave for 2 minutes and about 30 seconds. So if you had any questions or comments, feel free. Hello to everybody who joined. It's awesome that you're here. So we're just making cupcakes. Okay, so the beans are boiling. So I'm going to just turn it down to medium and let it go for the 20 minutes. And there we go. All right, where are we at? 13 minutes. Look at that. We got dessert going. We got beans going for the week. We've made 2 types of flavored water or tea for the week. And next is, so I'm actually going to be making skewers. So it's going to be like some steak, but I'm going to marinate it, and then some veggies like mushrooms and zucchini, and marinate those in different of our sauces and spices. I'm going to have that sit aside, and then later today, when I go to eat them, I will just skewer them. So I have metal skewers, but you can use whatever you like. Perfect for the barbecue, or if you don't, use the oven or a frying pan or something, and you can do that. So that's that. Awesome thing about cutting boards, you can just switch them over and we're good to go. So it's whatever size or whatever you like. If you don't eat meat, you know, you do tofu, you know, you guys know what you like. You can do this with pork, you can do this with chicken. Okay. So what sauce am I going to do? Well, we're going to do Montreal steak spice, because why not, right? So the good thing about our spices is that we actually don't put any anti-caking or anything in it that's not necessary. So you will find sometimes that things get kind of caked, because that's what we're doing, anti-caking. And you just use the spoon to move it around and it'll get it all out. Just dump it all in. Now I need to buy more, huh? That's the good thing about that. So literally you could put some oil on it, or you could just not. I don't bother. So the seasoning here is the Montreal steak spice. So the Montreal steak spice is garlic, red bell pepper, black pepper, onion, sea salt, spices, and herbs. So, and this is only 75 milligrams of sodium compared to the ones you can buy in the store. And so that's all I'm going to do with that. And then I'll just put that aside for later. All right, check on our cupcakes. Should be all nice and done. They are. Okay, there's our cupcakes. And you see it'll just pop right out, which is the awesome thing about these silicone. I always do that. Whenever I'm like live and talking about it, what I call it makes no sense of what it actually is. It's hilarious. But anyway, you ask me in private, I'm all fine. Anyway, these just have to sit for another 5 minutes, and then they'll be ready for you to top with your icing or whatever it is you would like to do. Literally, I'm just going to turn it over and put it on top of the whatever you call that thing. Okay, so cupcakes are now cooling on a rack, which is the word I was looking for. Lettuce is drying on a rack. The beans are on the stove, and they'll be done in a few minutes. And I have the steak already chopped up and ready to go for our skewers tonight. So now I need to get into is the vegetable. Yeah. So I'm gonna grab my other knife and just, again, chop it up into the sizes that you like. So, you know, I'm trying to match similar to the steak I chopped up. I will say to you, the smaller the bite size that the vegetables are and the meat is, the faster everything will cook. And since that is what I'm all about, try to make things go really quickly. So mushrooms I'm just going to chop either into half or quarters because they're pretty big. And those will be also, yeah, totally fine. Part of my thing is just having the quick 20-minute meals. And the quick 20-minute meals means that everything kind of has to be ready. So the seasonings are prepped, you know what you're going to be making, kind of idea. Your vegetables and your meat are nice bite size, so they cook really quickly. You prepped them maybe already ahead, so they're already washed and dried and ready to go. For example, for your veggies, that's already done. All I have to do is pull it out and chop it to the size I want, or maybe you already have it already chopped up, just depends on what you're doing. So on that note, a lot of what I do is get extra of like broccoli or cauliflower or collard greens and chop it all up and then put it into portion sizes into the freezer, so then it's all ready to go into a meal or stir fry or butter chicken or curry or something. So that's one of my definite go-tos. And then the way I like to do is break it all up, so I don't do all my meal prepping in one moment. Like, I'm not here for hours. I will literally be here for an hour today and that's it. On Friday or Thursday, whenever we get our vegetables, it'll be 15-20 minutes of that where I'll wash it all, dry it all, prep it all so it's all ready to go. And then that's that. And if we bring home produce, the same thing. Whenever we bring home the other groceries like your produce or your grains and stuff, that's all portioned on those days. When you get the big containers of your protein, chop it all down or portion it all out so it's only meant for like 1 to 2 meals. I love the cook once, eat twice scenario. We do that all the time here. We'll make dinner and then the next day's lunch is taken care of. If you're not that type of person, make sure that you portion it out based on a single meal. So that you don't waste your food, get bored of it, switch it up every day. If you eat protein, you know, have one day, you know, plant-based, the next day is chicken, the next day is pork, plant-based again. Like, just keep moving it along so that you're not thinking, oh my God, I'm eating chicken all day, or oh my God, I'm eating tofu every day. You know, just keep switching it up. And the way to do that kind of is just to stick with a base. That's my key on all this. Is like, when you look at your favorite recipes, you look and see what kind of base protein you always use, what kind of base vegetables you always use, because you know what you go and get at the grocery store all the time. Like, you know what you go buy. So just stick to that and adapt it to the recipes that you like, right? So just make sure that like it moves around, but it's the size, your sauces or your spices that change. And for me, that's where Epicure comes in, because it's super clean and so much variety that I can switch it up every day to making Mexican, to Indian, to Thai, to Greek, to Italian, it doesn't matter. Or just make whatever I want to make, and that's the way it goes. But which is kind of how we work here. But it's clean for us. So like, there's no gluten, there's no nuts, no MSG, no artificial flavors or colors or anything like that. It's simple ingredients on the back that you can easily read, for one, and two, it has the full instructions on how to make whatever it is. So you don't have to go find a recipe somewhere else. You can literally turn the jar over or the package over and it'll give you nutritional information and all the ingredients and a couple of different recipe options. And if you're vegan, there's only about a dozen that has real cheese in it, so there's so much options out there. It's not really for carnivores or vegetarians, it's just for whatever it is you like to eat. I'm glad you liked it. If you had any questions at all, Catherine, go ahead and ask. But yeah, I love doing this. It's my it keeps me healthy. So this is why I do all this, is for my own health, right? I have migraines, and they were a big deterrent to my life, I guess. Chronic pain, chronic fatigue, chronic all that. And you try everything, you know, when you go through your 20s and 30s, you see doctors, you do all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't always work out, or it's not the right thing because you haven't gone to the core of the problem, right? The core of the problem is, of course, what you put in and on your body. And I thought I was doing well because I thought, oh, but I eat whole foods like, you know, protein and veggies. They're not processed. It's, you know, I thought that was fine. But it actually wasn't, because it was the sauces and spices and things that I was using that was actually being the most harmful to my body, which of course you should be if you like logically think that, but you know, you're thinking, but I'm only putting a tablespoon on, so what's the problem? But it's the continual of it, right? And it's a compound effect, one on top of the other on top of the other. So using really turmeric, certain different things. Sorry, I was not going off topic on there. My brain went somewhere else, but hey, it's okay. So like teriyakis, Montreal steak spice, marinaras, pestos, things like that are store made. To keep it there, of course, preserved, they put a lot of things in it that and of course tasty, because that's what everybody's expecting, is that taste of MSG, that taste of salt. So to keep you going and keep you addicted to it, they keep adding a lot more sugar and salt and everything to things. When you make your own, of course, you control all that, so you don't have to put sugar or salt or whatever it is that you don't want. You can use whatever type of soy you like, whatever type of vinegar you like. If you're dairy-free, use dairy-free options. It's all up to you. And so when I started doing that, just actually simply with a broth, that was it. It was just a broth. It was like night and day for me. Literally, I was feeling so much better the next day when I used Epicure's like 85 milligrams of sodium compared to the boxed version, which was over 1,000. I didn't feel like that lethargic feeling, that back of the head, like all that was kind of gone, and I'm like, huh, got a little more energy today. And then the more I cooked from home, the better I felt, which led me to where I am right now, which is the meal prepping part, because obviously I'm just like everyone else, super busy, don't want to be spending all day cooking and thinking about what I have to make for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I want that done and I can move on with the rest of my day. So that's what meal prepping does. If I prep today for like the hour, I have quite a few options planned out for the week. Breakfast is taken care of, lunch is taken care of, dinner is taken care of. We just keep it going with all this. So, and I don't have to worry about it. It's like I said, it's a half an hour here, half an hour there. I don't spend all day doing this, and I don't spend all day cooking my lunch and dinners either. It's literally within 10 minutes we're eating lunch, and probably around 10-15 minutes eating dinner, just depending if we wanted to get a little more creative or something longer. And part of what I'll do is actually use a whiteboard or something on the fridge, and we write down what each dinner is. Part of the thing is that I do live with my other half, and he and I plan it together, so it doesn't feel like I'm forcing him to eat it or I'm taking all the responsibility of it. So we work together on all that, and that's kind of like what we do the night before. What do you want for dinner tomorrow? When are we going for a walk? And then we write it on the board, and that's that. And for example, if you want to see what I make for breakfast, which I still have a whole week's worth, which is why I'm not making any today. They're called superhero cookies. They're my absolute favorite, and I make these all the time. I don't mind eating the same thing because it's just super easy. I'll grab a couple of these, I'll grab my coffee and I'll water, and I'll get to work, and I don't have to fuss. So that's that. Okay. So I feel like, did we do everything today? We got, oh, I didn't do these, did I? Oh. So what I'm gonna do for the seasoning for the zucchini and the mushrooms is actually our O Canada seasoning. Same idea. It's a glaze or it's a rub. It's whatever you want to do. So I'm actually going to I will put a little bit of oil on these just because the mushrooms and that need it. And then just mix it up and let this marinate for a little bit as well. And then I can go ahead and put them on the skewers and then either go down to the barbecue or just use the oven depending on how we feel. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do right now for dinner for tonight. And then, so we've got the veggies and the protein going for the skewers tonight. The beans are on. We've got lettuce drying for the lobster wraps for the week because I get to have a little treat. We got our lemon, our 5 Alive. It's not 5, is it though? It's only 3. 3 Alive citrus drink water for later in the week, throughout the week. And then of course I have a condensed turmeric and ginger tea. There we go. All right. So let me quickly wash my hands. And I thank you all for joining. Again, if you had questions or comments or wanted any more information, feel free to DM me. Come join. I have a private VIP group where I share recipes and all this all the time. And if you're interested in what Epicure is all about, you can head over to my website and grab yourself some. Or if you want to host and have your own cooking class like this, I'd love to share with you. And yeah, you get freebies and it's all an awesome time. Or hey, you're looking for a side gig like this, I'd love to help you out with that as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that this is, you know, I get paid to talk about food and it's pretty cool. So if you want to talk about food and get paid, come chat with me. Otherwise, thank you so much and have an awesome morning. And yeah, take care everybody. Bye.